Party on.
And we're live. Yay.
And we're live.
Hello. Welcome to Not Quite Novelist. This is the show where new friends are made, literally, and new worlds are built live on the spot each and every episode. If you don't know me, my name is Savannah, and with me today, I'm so excited for this guest. As always, because all my guests are amazing, but this one I'm particularly excited about. I've got Oh Hello Mare.
Hello.
Yes. Oh hello.
Hello there.
Oh
exactly.
My gosh. So how are you today?
I'm good. I am very excited. This is like a great way to like wrap up my spring break. So.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, so if you don't know how this is going, honestly, I think we can just jump right in. We can just get started.
You could give a little preview in case someone watches the VOD and is like, what the heck are these chickens doing?
Exactly. Well, so also just in case you don't know how this works, I have these two teacups right here. Each of them are filled with sheets of paper. One of them is going to be themes. The other one is going to be tones. And I'm going to draw one from each. And then we're just gonna do some world building, do some character creation.
I love world building. I think I love world building more than I like playing sometimes. Like I've got whole worlds and everything in my brain that I do that. That's
how I am. I've got, oh my gosh, hello. Okay, we got Eric, we got Jenna, we got Justin. We have so many friends.
Look at them.
Hello. Okay.
Hello. Pop out the chat so I can see it and I'm not like staring off into the distance this way.
Okay, this is so fun already. I'm not going to tell you what we got. I'm just going to add them to the screen. Give me 2 seconds to pull them up.
Oh, boy.
That's my favorite part of doing this is like, I'm just going to leave you in suspense until we get, until I love can get them up on the screen. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So
get it so I can see this.
It's going to be so fun. And everybody, in case you don't know, or in case you missed it up here at the top of the screen, in these two little teacups, because they have all these different prompts, for just a 100 bits, you can actually suggest either a theme or a tone that I can go and put into the teacups that will hopefully one day, like randomly, get put into our little pool of generator. So, let's see. This is the part that I'm just like, sorry, you gotta wait for me to learn how to type.
I'm like staring over at the Twitch screen to be like, what is it?
You're like, what is it? All right, and bada boom, there we go. So our theme are criminals, and our tone is a soap opera.
I love this.
I'm so excited to do this one. Oh my god, I love it. Yes,
I already have ideas. Coming to me.
It's great when you like immediately get ideas here. Like immediately you see it and you're just like, okay, let's go. You know. Weston last week did the same thing. He gets this like, there was a moment I had to be like, buddy, your Orpheum is showing, because he was like, picture this. It was so good.
No, I'm already, well, first of all, so like the Hispanic in me just perked up because the word soap opera only has like two meanings for me.
Yeah.
The first meaning for me is growing up, summer break, you got to stay with your grandma, you watch Price is Right, you watch the news, and then you watch Young and the Restless because that was the order that everything went in. Growing
That's
up.
awesome.
Like that was the order. And I got invested at like the age of 10, which was way too young to be watching. And the second is that I'm Puerto Rican. And so we also have novelas. So immediately like love a Spanish novela. That is a novela about criminals. Come on.
As soon as I saw the tone, as soon as I saw soap operas, I was like, "Oh, let's get the telenovelas going!" I'm so excited. And like criminals, I am all about like a mafia mob story. I love like I've only seen like the first two seasons, but I do really love The Sopranos. I love anything. I love anything that's like mobster, mafia. I've got a friend. I do a lot of these like private RPs just over text, like with my friends.
Yeah.
And one particular friend, we have like I mention him constantly because we've been doing this for about 6 years. We have over 60 active like stories that we kind of switch between depending on what we're feeling. And I think we've got about 6 or 7 of them that are just like mobster, like that are pure mafia stories. So
listen, I will happily get us derailed on the entire culture of play-by-post forum role plays because that's where I got my start. I did that before I ever rolled dice. Like before I ever rolled dice, I did like I was big into. I'm a history person, so I did a lot of like historical fantasy. I did a lot of like classical era everything.
I was gonna say, were you the one that I talked to who we were both really into doing like Les Mis RPs when the Les Mis movie came out?
Les Mis fan fiction. There was a Les Mis fan fiction. There was a whole era on Tumblr specifically about Les Mis fan fiction. It was a whole
still have
moment.
Access. I'm not kidding. I have a
fic I need to send you because it's better than the novel that I've been reading off of Amazon freaking Kindle Unlimited right now. Like I have read better fan fiction than some of the stuff you can get for free.
Yeah.
Like this is the better free from the internet. Sorry, that's my soapbox. But yes, Les Mis, Barricade Boys fan fiction, coffee shop AUs were the only thing that got me through graduating college.
I did RP accounts on my origin story. I've told this a million times. I used to do like text RPs. I used to RP before I knew that roleplay or RP was a thing. Because I was 11 and doing text RPs on my flip phone. Like in like 07, I was doing it using T9 spelling. And then it just evolved, and then DeviantArt happened, and then Tumblr happened.
So yeah, mine was Pro Boards and Vision Free. My very first play by text. My very first play by text.
Wait, I'm pinning this. Yeah, Matt says cancel your Kindle account. Read fanfic. Honestly, stand by that. Yes.
Honestly, I live for that.
Yes.
Again, I've read better fanfic than some of the stuff that Amazon's churning out.
Thank you for the lurk, Jenna.
Yeah, thanks for the lurk. Yeah, so when we had it just went 5 different ways. But I started text roleplay on Neopets, but then I thought about it.
Ooh.
And the first time that I think I ever did any kind of roleplay ever was somewhere around like 4th or 5th grade, maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, on the bus because we were big into Sailor Moon. So we were making up our own Sailor Scouts.
Okay.
And then the boys were all into Dragon Ball Z. So like we had this like moment like where we were making up our Sailor Scout moves and we did this whole thing. So that was everything for roleplay. That may have been the first part of it. And then on Neopets, it was the role play forum, and like if you refreshed it, it just kept moving. And that was the very first time. And it was like the first time I think I ever felt adrenaline. It's what cardio, I guess, is supposed to feel like, where you're refreshing to get the responses.
Mine was Tumblr is when like the real like the stories started really kicking in, and I was like really, really into it. But on Tumblr,
did you have like a character account? Like you had the character sub account?
Okay, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm going to admit this.
Don't be ashamed, girl. You are among your people right now, because I camped on Tumblr.
So I had there were two major fandoms that were like my biggest ones that I was involved in. One was the Les Mis fandom, where I did have some. I did some Barricade Boys like cosplay RP Instagram accounts.
Who was your Barricade Boy? This is so
I did
important
too.
to me.
I either did Jahan or Kufarak.
Oh,
those are my go-tos.
Okay, so my Steam name is Merferak, because my Steam name is literally based off of a Barricade Boy. Like, so, because those were some of my names. Like, those are some of my names. Like, names that I went through on Tumblr were Mare Fair for Comfair and Mare Fair. Or Comf Mare, I think I did one time. And then Mare Farak was the other one.
In my, like, Kufarak account, I would have fully, like, tried to ship my Kufarak with your Comfair.
Well, this is oh my god, the Kufarak and Comfair was the ship. Like, okay, so now that I've completely derailed your stream, it is so important to me. You read the City Smiths fic, right? Where Grantaire is the personification of Paris, and that's why Enjolras is in love with him.
No, what?
I am sending this to you right now. This is the book. This is the fan fiction that I think is better than a book. Yeah, this is the one when I'm like, when people are like, fan fiction. Oh, I was like, no. Sit your judgy tail down. Sit your books a million tail down. Yes. I have something that's better. I want to go and get it bound at Staples or something. Okay.
Do it. Okay. First off, send me that. Second off, my other biggest fandom that I did... Let's do your stream like we're supposed to do. Well, my other biggest fandom that I did, all my like RP accounts were, because you asked me how many, or like if I had a character account on Tumblr. My biggest and currently longest running fandom that I did RP accounts for on Tumblr was My Chemical Romance. Their 4th album was True Lies of the Dangerous, True Lies of the Fabulous Killjoys, Danger Days, right? There is a whole, because it's a concept album and it's set in this like post-apocalyptic world, there was a whole like fan base and all like RP accounts like in character as our Killjoys, and we would use like your posts were like transmissions, and so your like computer, the device that you were posting on, were like your radios, and it was so immersive. I had 15 accounts active at the same time because I'm a psychopath.
I never did the play on Tumblr fan. I didn't do that. I read that. That was how I went shopping for fan fictions, where I would look to see.
Yes.
Like I would like if they didn't have enough likes on them, or if I didn't read, because I loved reading the tags on Tumblr. Like honestly, the tags on Tumblr were better than the posts.
If anyone does not know Tumblr culture, like the thing is, like the thing that you need to know if you are in Tumblr culture at all, it is read the tags. Like the tags are where the good bits are. The tags are where the juicy bits are, you know? Yeah.
I'm desperately trying to find this because I'm like you keep going. We'll do the stream.
Let's get us back on track a little bit while you're doing that. So criminals and soap opera. Soap opera, immediately my first thought goes to, well, first off, I don't know why this is, but you know how when you open YouTube, it'll sometimes default to going to YouTube Shorts? And it'll just show you. So my thing is on YouTube Shorts, it shows me like a bunch of clips from like a TV show to the point where it's like, I feel like I've already watched the show, but now I'm like so invested in the plot. For the last like week, I've been getting YouTube Shorts of Desperate Housewives.
It's been doing that for me, and I've been like watching various random chunks of Game of Thrones, like via shorts,
Oh,
like,
interesting.
or and
Mine
also on like other media too. Yeah.
mine is always hospital dramas. It's always like I get a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I get a lot of I can't remember the name of the show, but I think it's called Nurse Jackie. I get a lot
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
like I get a lot of 911.
I get a lot of
Um,
Grey's Anatomy. Yep. Yep.
but
Yep.
very recently I've been getting a lot of Desperate Housewives, and it's very like that. It's very like suburban soap opera to me.
Mhm.
You know? So I'm imagining very like if we're doing criminals, my thought is what if we did some kind of like almost like Desperate Housewives novella, very dramatic, but it is uh like people who are undercover who are casing like a rich neighborhood, pretending like they just moved in, casing this like super rich neighborhood to
Ah.
like rob them, you know?
Okay, so it's like if Home Alone without the kid were like from the point of view from the guys moving in.
Yes.
Oh my God, what
Yes.
if they're movers, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
and their like
Oh,
job is as they're moving, they're like
mhm.
stealing stuff, but then they're learning about
I was about to
like
say Home
they're
Alone.
learning
Matt
about the
Matt
people.
knows. Matt knows.
Yeah, Matt gets it.
Yeah,
It's the
you get it.
energy that's there.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Ooh, I did just get we're the wet bandits. Wait, I did just get one idea though.
Wet bandit.
I did just get one idea though. What if it's like hear me out on this, because if we're going soap opera, we got to get as messy as possible. We have to get as tangled and messy. Honestly, this would be a great place to use Obsidian, because we got to do your red string thing with this one.
Mhm.
Because soap operas get messy. So imagine it's a mover or like someone like a handyman, like the local handyman who's secretly like, robs these like rich people in this neighborhood, but he actually helps move an undercover cop into a house in the neighborhood. And
Ah.
it becomes like and I think like the one of the like love stories, one of the like romance plots is that the mover and this cop, without knowing what the other person is, they end up like hitting it off and like getting into each other.
Hmm.
And
I like
so that adds some mess to it, but like the undercover cop is there not investigating all these different like robberies or these different like break-ins that are happening around the neighborhood. He's there investigating like one of the other families that he thinks
Oh,
is
so
like
it's like it adds
involved in
into
like
it. Where
yeah.
maybe he thinks they're involved in some grander crime situation.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like he thinks that they're like, to bring in my mafia type thing, is that
Mhm.
he thinks that the family is like involved in like an organized crime. Like he thinks that this one family in the neighborhood is like a Sopranos type. So he's there
Mhm.
to watch them. Meanwhile, the robber guy, who is like the neighborhood handyman, is there to watch them to steal from them, and it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah. I'm like
Yeah.
sitting here trying to think like to like because again you're right like a lot of the things are like Grey's Anatomy, right? So maybe
Mhm.
we would also want to get like the the crew. Maybe it's like a crew of people who do this,
Oh
right? So
yeah.
you have
Okay,
like
yeah.
the mover company or whatever's going on
Mm.
there. So like you think about the different locations, right?
Yeah.
Um you're following the storyline of the family that is being investigated, but maybe they are not actually criminals, but like it's one of those things like in a regular like soap opera where all of
Mm.
the clues lead like it could be them, you
Yeah.
know? The kid disappears, the kid leaves and walks down the path at 4 o'clock every single day, and it's because they've
Yeah.
got piano lessons or something, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
and then the cop's like, oh, maybe the piano lesson people are in on it too. Um, I don't know. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
instead of it being a moving company, it's some other sort of business, right? So, like, if
Maybe it's
it's,
a like a landscaping company. Like they're doing people's like yards and because if this is like
ah,
a really like rich neighborhood, if this is like a really like high
they've
end,
got
like
big
this is the
lawns.
neighborhood that has the big fancy houses, they're gonna want to really keep up with their lawns, and there's like you know, it's a very like almost HOA kind of bullshit where it's like everyone tries to have the most perfect lawn, the most perfect house aesthetically
Mm-hmm.
from the front. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I think yeah, if they're like a
Oh,
landscaping
like
company, that'd
maybe,
be really cool.
and then there's also like the HOA has their like lawn of the month, you
You
know?
know what they say about big houses?
Big lawn.
Oh my god, War Torn Knight's killing it in the chat. Oh my god, I'm dead.
I love it.
uh, this is there's a reason why they call him what it. Hold on, I have to ask Matt.
What do
What was
they
it that
call
you
him?
said that call you the Pungeon Master or something like that? Because he makes a lot of.
Oh
He made
my
so many
god.
puns in my chat one day that I was like, I can't with this. It's too much.
The
Okay, so
Pungeon Master.
correct, yeah, it was the Pungeon Master. It was Pungeon Master, and then I think I'm the one who said like someone should call you the Punisher.
The Punished. Yeah, for every time somebody does it, in like a Discord that I'm on, and that like I helped make with like a little small group of some random folks. Whenever someone does something silly, I've created like, especially if they say something silly in the voice chat, I've created a voice chat that I can kick them into, like me and a couple other folks in there can kick them to it. And they say something and we can just kick them into there, and it's called the shame corner, and it's called shame. Think about what you've done.
That's so
So yeah,
good. I love
no,
that.
yeah, I'll kick
So
someone out of a voice chat just like, no,
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 I
thank
think
you.
it's so good. Okay, so something that I do in this stream is like I always say like, okay, um if this was a game that we were playing, like let's say this was a ttrpg, or if this was like, because this story is a lot more like TV story based, if this was like a story
Mm-hmm.
that we were writing like a show or like a movie or something,
Yeah.
who's your character? Like who would you play and who would I play? I want to know like what character are you thinking?
It almost feels like if this were a game instead, I feel like it would have to be like kind of like you can almost like take Brindlewood Bay and use it.
Okay.
So Brindlewood Bay is a game where you're a bunch of little old ladies who live in a seaside town, and you're in a book club
Okay.
it's like a murder mystery book club. And the
Cute.
local sheriff sometimes asks you to come and help solve a mystery. And you use like your knowledge, and you have like your different stats and different things. Um,
That's so
and
cute.
the
Hold
way
on, I'm
that
making a note of
works,
that right now. Let me grab
yeah,
my phone
Brindlewood
here.
Bay. It's such a cute game because some of the clues help go, like, you as the DM, you as a storyteller, have like a bunch of check boxes of different types of clues that people can find, and then if they roll a certain way, they can find an eldritch clue, because it's like if
Mm.
Murder She Wrote and Golden Girls met Call of Cthulhu. So
Okay.
they're in this little New England town, and you do that. So for me, it'd be really kind of fun if we set this, because I know, okay, so my brain's kind of
Mm.
derailing and has come up with a different thing,
No,
right?
that's fine.
So if we're sticking with criminals and soap opera,
Mm-hmm.
I live in the South. Okay, so I live in the South,
Yep.
and there's nothing nosier than your neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm. Listen, I grew up in Texas. I understand.
So this could be, what if, okay, so if this were a game and we're keeping soap opera and criminals in it, what if
Mm-hmm.
this game is like about the folks who are on like the welcoming committee for a family that
Oh.
moves into town, right? So
Yeah.
then the family moves into town, and you get all these different clues about who
Okay.
they are, what they're up to, and there's a big clue that's at the beginning that's like you think that they did a crime, right? So, and
Mm.
then it's just because I think of like how neighbors will spin a whole story up so big.
Yeah.
So if this is like about criminals, they're like trying to investigate.
Mm.
And it's like, let's have, why don't we have a dinner? Look at your backyard. We should go. You should have a party over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my husband is a big fan of the movie The Burbs, right? And so in The Burbs,
Okay.
there is the neighbor. Like, it's a guy who's just on his like break from work, And his neighbors, like, these new folks just moved in. What do you think they're hiding in there? They keep getting boxes. There's no delivery. Like, it's like and then they keep peeking over. So this like little investigation to collect clues about your neighbor. So if we did this with it being the landscaping company or like the friendly neighbor, the cop that's on the beat, like you do that. So those could almost be like your playbooks. Those could be like your playbooks. And then that gives you the different skills, right? The plucky kid neighbor. And so then you are like, this weird family has just moved in, and that's like the theme each time. And then maybe I'm thinking, so if it's randomized, as I love random tables, if it's randomized, then
hello,
hi, Danger Doodle.
Danger Doodle.
If it's randomized, then you could figure out as a DM, are they criminals? Yes or no? Okay. What was their crime? And then like random clues that could lead you there.
This
right?
Is fun.
So
okay, yeah.
So like you get like that. So then that gives you like your little clue list of what kind of crime did they do. And then you and your little nosy neighbor skills are now trying to decide what did they do, right? Are you breaking into their house when they're gone? And are you peeking into the windows? Are you digging in their yard? Like, different little things, like a little nosy neighbor situation.
Thank you for the follow, Danger Noodle. I am so close to 100 followers, which is nuts. I am at 97 followers. I only need 3 more. I'm also very close to 20 subscribers, which is really cool.
That's really exciting. Holy cow.
Just so everybody knows, every follow and every sub gets me closer to a promise that I unfortunately made, which is if I get to 500 subscribers and 5,000 followers, I'm going to do a hot tub stream. So, help me get closer to that goal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would do that.
This goal literally was suggested to me by my housemate, and I was like, we don't have a hot tub. And she said, bet. And I was like, what does that mean?
Oh no.
So, yeah, it was funny. I was like, I pay you rent. Are you just taking my rent money to go and get a hot tub for us?
I mean...
which is hilarious, and, I wouldn't say no. I did make the promise. No. It is clipped. It is clipped. You can find that. I said if you get me or Classic Sam, who was my guest at the time of this promise, so if you get me or Sam to 5,000 followers and 500 subs, then we'll do a hot tub stream together. So, get us to the goal.
I mean, I don't know what I would promise. I've been streaming like 4 years, and like I took like 2 years off, so I've not been like streaming for the 4 full years. Yeah. But no, like I don't know what I would do if I had those many subs. That's be great.
That's the thing is, like, it's wild, and I made that goal with the intention of like, that's crazy. I'm never gonna hit that because it was the first stream that I did after making Twitch affiliate. So we were like having a little celebration party. And my first goal was just if I get 5 subscribers, then I will commission my friend to make channel emotes for myself.
Oh, that's nice.
Promethean came in and immediately donated 5 subs, and then 5 other people in rapid succession subbed to so I doubled my sub goal in 1 day. I almost cried. Gosh. It was a big deal. It was a party. And so then, I made the promise of if I get to 500 subs, then we'll do a hot tub stream.
That's a good promise.
Yeah. And I made it as a joke. I told a different friend of mine, and he was like, that's not a crazy number. I was like, it kind of is, to me anyway. But now I just have to bring it up every time I get a new follow, every time I get a new sub. Those are the goals.
Completely sidetracking away from the thing. So the person like put theirs like under like a lock on Archive of Our Own, AO3. So it was on there, and I didn't know if you had an account. So I went ahead and you can download it as a PDF. I got it for you. It's the best fit. And now I have it as a PDF, and I'm putting it on Archive of Our Own. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, it's really cool. So, yeah, my iPad so that I can give it a reread because that's why I am. This is again, I hate to derail us back to the Les Mis fan fiction, but this, like, I never.
Like, I love it. I'm so happy about it.
It's so important to me. It's so important to me to find
right.
someone
else. The little 17-year-old Savannah who was obsessed with Les Mis at the time is.
Oh my god!
Excited.
No, it is probably a little too exciting.
I get it. I get it.
Oh my god.
That's
also so funny.
For any new people who might be in the chat, because Danger Doodle, you did just follow, so I just want to bring this up one more time to give you guys an idea of what we're doing here. I've got two themes, or a theme and a tone, up at the top of the screen right now. Despite all of our ADHD demons getting in the way, we are trying to...
ADHD demons, that's a great name for them.
Isn't it great? My friend came up with it, and I was like, I'm keeping that. I'm using it forever. But what we are doing is we are building a world and trying to create our characters for this kind of story, whether it be for a show or a story or a TTRPG. The TTRPG community forcefully adopted me, so most of the things that I have been creating are game-related. Mare being one of those people. But our themes and tones are completely randomly generated using these two teacups filled with slips of paper. For a measly 100 bits, you can actually suggest either a theme or a tone that I will put into one of these teacups for you.
Ooh.
So, there is that. If you want to think, themes are going to be more like character-based. Themes are going to be things like, criminals, or I've done like vampires or fairies or, what was the other one? Pirates, things like that. Whereas tone is going to be more genre or setting, so it's going to be soap opera, or it could be Western. It could be like a genre like a coming-of-age story or a rom-com, or it could be...
I love those.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or it could be Les Mis fanfiction.
Oh my god.
Or it could just be me Les Mis.
Yeah. ERAU. That's
Oh my god.
Crying. Okay. Have you listened to... Okay, we have to stay on this for 2 seconds. Have you listened to George Blagden singing his... what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, you go ahead, please.
It's... For anyone who's not in the Les Mis fandom here, it was what, 2014, 2015? It was 2013. Like
okay, I'll get into it. Okay, it was 2013, and George Blagden, after being very briefly in the Les Mis movie, and people like us who were like obsessed
as everybody's favorite character, right? As
everyone's favorite character, Grantaire, my boy. So, the brain rot goes so deep. He went through and did it, and he's aware. This boy is aware. This boy was aware of it. He was actively filming.
He is the biggest ER shipper.
Oh yeah, and he knew what he was doing. So he ended up doing. It was either when he was filming Vikings or right when he was just getting into filming Versailles. And he did a guitar cover of I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie, and did it and titled it ? But because at this time he changed the lyrics so that it was very Les Mis coded about the ship between these two characters, which is canon-ish. It's so heavily... Victor Hugo knew what he was doing when he wrote these boys. Like, that old French man knew what he was doing. He knew it when he was writing about Jehan as well. He knew, I have strong feelings about the brick. But yes.
This is the greatest day.
We have lost the plot for the stream. He knew what he was doing. But on top of that, I have like a weird connection to George Blagden. It's not like an actual connection to the actual person, but I do musical theater, and I played the character of Marta in Company. So within the past 5 to 8 years, they did a revival of Company on the West End where they gender flipped the main character Bobby. So instead of being a part of the girlfriends,
musical theater info dumping is the plot, and I'm here for it. Correct.
Yeah, welcome to the
yeah.
But so George Blackton played the character of Martin, which was Marta, which was my character, singing the song "Another 100 People," as well as the trio "You Could Drive a Person Crazy," and so I am a character sibling. That's what I call them. Like if I've played the same role as someone,
yeah,
I am a character sibling with George Blackton. We've played the same character. I'm also a character sibling with Stephanie Beatrice from In the Heights. So, because she played Carla in The Heights.
Literally, and just I think it was on Friday. I had to stop my I usually binge actual plays while I'm at work, just because it's a good thing to put on and it goes all day. But I had to pause my binge of this one actual play I was listening to solely because In the Heights got stuck in my head and I had to go and listen to the whole soundtrack.
You have to go and listen to the whole album.
I had to listen to the whole... It was specifically the movie
makes me
cry. Too, so so good. So good. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
okay.
I love fun. Okay, back on it.
Let's reel it back in. Okay.
You have a whole thing that happens on this stream and I am derailing it, and I would apologize, but I will not apologize because I've not gotten to talk about lame as fan fiction with anyone since I was writing with another person, and then all of our my writing partner and I did so much it was basically ER, but we just coded it. We wrote it in a Tamara Pierce universe, so it was our boys were having a revolution and they were in love.
I met the Broadway cast of Les Mis back in 2014, I believe, while doing a
Who was your Valjean?
closet. Oh God, who was it?
Who was your Valjean?
But I was.
Was it Ramin or was it Killian? Because I'm was it a hot Iranian man who had giant abs?
This was 11 years ago. I don't remember. I'm
so
sorry.
It very well
but
could have been a hot Iranian man.
Yes. What I do remember is, one, I was in a closet cosplay of Enjolras because I was in my favorite red jacket, and two, Andy Mientus was playing Marius, and I met him, and he is very sweet.
Wait. So then that means that Joe was probably playing. Joe may have been playing Grantier because I got to see him play it when they were on tour.
Yeah. I was visiting my best friend who was living in New York, and so I went to. It was great. It was a great time. Okay.
The camera keeps moving, and I think I moved it the wrong way. But I keep shaking my desk so much I'm watching my camera move
because we're so excited. We just want to talk about Les Mis.
I know. That's the stream.
I love that talking about not getting derailed is causing you to get derailed again. You're right. Okay, we're moving on.
This is why I'm not a guest in many places.
Reel it back in.
You can't make me leave the house, and you can't even make me this is leaving the house, but virtually. Yeah. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay, we're reeling it in. We're back. Okay, everybody, get into do your I call it the Sharpay exercises where you go I can't do the lip thing anymore. But okay, anyway, yeah. Okay, so we have our setting so far, which is a very upper middle class suburban street, very Desperate Housewives energy, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit higher end, very these are the rich. This is the rich neighborhood. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of any. I feel when I think of the really rich neighborhoods, I'm thinking of stuff like Vanderpump Rules or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, something like that.
I'm thinking imagine Gossip Girl, right? But if Gossip Girl was
if Gossip Girl lived in the suburbs or in a gated community. Yes. Oh, what if the game was called Gated?
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so if it's called Gated, right? And so
because it's very specifically in this one gated community.
So, okay, all right, here's how the game would start if this is a TTRPG, okay?
Yes.
Imagine. The new neighbor is hosting a party at their house. you have, and I'm thinking like 3 phases of the game, right? So you have to, like your playbooks, you're like the, you maybe you just pick a neighbor and like what they do. Maybe
I
someone's a
already know
lawyer,
what
maybe
character
someone's
I want to play in this.
perfect.
I already have a
So,
character in this that I want to play. I want to play the very like she's a like stay at home she's like a housewife, but
oh yeah.
she's also a romance author.
I
But
love it. Oh, wait,
she
okay.
writes like dark romance, like crime romance, like murder mystery and
Perfect.
romance and stuff like that. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's her
Okay,
whole thing.
so here's what it is. All right. So
Okay.
in the game, there's 3. I already just saw myself get completely out of frame again. I can fix this.
That's okay.
I know what I'm doing.
You got this.
There we go.
Yep.
So so there's 3 phases of play. The first phase is the welcoming party, or like the party that they're hosting at the house. The new family is hosting that.
Yes.
Yeah, the garden party. And you have to, as like the DM and like through your questions and your skills, try to figure out what the person does. Because if you're living in this community, you have money.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of determine, are they telling the truth about, oh, yes, I own a capital management firm, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, old money, new money, married into money. Yeah. So you have to determine
these are the
what
things you have
their
to discover.
job actually
are they
is.
old money? Are they new money?
You have to find out clues at the party, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So like, is it drug money?
This is where the criminals part comes in.
Are they saying, yes, I work in sales? And then that's maybe that's not true. Maybe you had like a newspaper article like that's there is like, suspect on the loose for jewel theft.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
So you start the game with a random news article of a crime that has been committed. Because first of all, maybe you're just gaslighting your players as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you just gaslight your players and they're persecuting this person the entire game, but they don't have any evidence for it, right? Because that gets me into how Brindlewood Bay works. So first phase of play is the party. You do that, you get some like verbal clues, maybe you talk with the wife, you talk with the cook, you talk with a couple of other different people. And these are clues you can get from each of them by successful rolls on something.
Yes.
Phase 2 is creepy neighbor time. That's when you, as the neighbors, as the people in the neighborhood, get to try to investigate using your unique ways, right? So you get to investigate how this is going to go. Okay. So like your socialite person can be like, hey, I brought over a pie. May I come into the house? Right. So that way someone's in the house. You just kind of like, the plucky child can start creeping around in the backyard and saying, there's a freshly dug hole here.
If the new neighbors have kids, the plucky child can go and be like, hey, do you want to play kickball in the street with me and the other kids or something like that too?
Right. And so then maybe some of them during that phase is like covering for the others to investigate. And then others are like, so spying in the window, climbing up the trellis, peeking into the attic, looking into the basement. So you have that phase. And then the last phase would be the accusation.
Ooh, yeah.
The determination of, is this there? Because in Brindlewood Bay...
I was going to say, this is like Clue the TTRPG. Clue meets Desperate Housewives, the TTRPG.
Yeah. Because think about it, Clue in and of itself, for being a funny movie, it is incredibly high stakes for those players.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredibly high stakes for what the story they're going through.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Going golfing, right? Or like, so you have that. Maybe the family always has 4 family members, right? So that way then you as the TTRPG, like the person running the game, you as the DM, storyteller, the producer, if it was like a TV show themed kind of game.
Ooh, producer is fun. I like that.
The producer.
Yeah.
Or
Producer sounds
showrunner.
very
Oh, like
showrunner's fun.
showrunner.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
producer sounds fun because there is a game I heard Gals and Goblins do this as a one shot, and I fell in love, and I've been desperate to play this game ever since. But it's called Die Laughing, and essentially what it is like you're in a horror movie, and the point is that everybody's gonna die, but it's like a funny game, so it's like the person,
like 10 Candles but happy.
yeah, exactly. It's like the comedy version of 10 Candles because like everyone's gonna die, but in the most like ridiculous like horror movie tropey kind of way. Okay, I will send you the link to this podcast episode because
I'm sending you
Gals and
the
Goblins are great.
I'm gonna send you like the basics for Brindlewood Bay because like it.
No.
Yeah. Ooh.
War Torn Knight said the perfect thing: motion for the GM to be called the party planner. Yeah.
That would be good.
So what if this is like? So what if the game itself is actually like leading up to like an annual block party, and that's when like accusations and things.
And that's
go down.
when the accuse, right? Okay,
yeah,
so maybe
that's
that
when
is the
all
thing
the like crazy
of...
shit go down because it's everything leading up to this block party.
Okay, all right. So then let's change the order of play then. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
First order of play is you're the welcoming committee.
Mm-hmm.
It's you and your homies are coming over to, here's the pie. We wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood, right? Welcome to the neighborhood. Yeah. Here's the pie. May we come in? And then you go in, and that's like your social investigation. Phase
Danger
2.
Doodle, I feel like, sorry, I'm gonna say this. So Danger Doodle says block party or holiday gala. I think what you could do is, depending on and this is like kind of GM. This is more like up to GM preference, depending on what time of year you're playing the game. So like if someone wanted to play this game around the holidays, they would flavor it like, so that's a lot of flavor text. I feel like if you do it in the summer, it's like a block party, like either spring or summer, it's like block party. In the like winter time, or in the fall, maybe it's like a Thanksgiving, or like a Friendsgiving kind of energy for the neighborhood. And then if you're doing it in like the winter, it's going to be more like holiday gala, holiday party. And I feel like you could do different, maybe like different books. They're like mini books of like how to flavor it. So different like items you can find, different decorations or things like that. So like each like book is decorated to be for that time of year. I think that'd be really cute. Yeah.
So yeah, because Brindlewood Bay has it so that, and I'll have to like share this to you afterwards. But it's
yeah, I want to play this. It sounds like fun.
It's a game where like you do your different types of moves, but at the very end you do a theorize. So this is where the j'accuse happens at the end, where it's like you have a big discussion based on all of the clues that you've uncovered. You reach a consensus. So you roll the number of clues that you collected plus the dice, and then the amount on that. For example, it's like on a 10 plus, it's the correct solution. You'll present the opportunity to take down the culprit or otherwise save the day. On a 7 through 9, it's the correct solution, but you'll add an unwelcome complication to the solution itself or present a complicated, dangerous opportunity to take down the culprit or save the day. On a 6 and below, the solution is incorrect. So really, like in the end, you get to, like, there is no right answer for it. It
Not
comes
at the
down
beginning, but it
yeah, like, so if they develop, right, because on a lot of them, it's like, it's a murder that's happened, right? So they have to solve the murder. They're looking for clues on the scene, like the one I ran was on a yacht. And so they have to do that. They have to talk with the different people. And if they roll high enough on something, then you get a clue. If you roll extra high, you get what's called a dark clue. Hold on, I'm looking at it now. You get a dark conspiracy. It's a void clue. That's what it is. You get a void clue. And that void clue makes it like go like to the next level, right? Like the void clue gets to like a bigger plot of like darkness, Cthulhu-y, eldritch nastiness. Fun. So if you took this idea of our soap opera, right? You could run it through Brindlewood Bay basically, but instead of making your own little old lady, you make your own character. And
Yeah.
then if you roll high enough, it's culty weirdness that they're also involved
Ooh.
in.
Okay, so like almost
A
like
criminal
Stepford
cult.
Wives level. Oh, criminal cult. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
so because if we're trying to stay on track with like the idea of criminals, maybe they
yeah.
do like you're initially
Like
suspecting them
everyone's
of
in
this
on it.
crime, but yeah, but then there's like
Yeah.
this. They also had this statue of a tentacled creature in their basement when I was peeking through, and when I
Ooh.
saw it, I heard whispering in my head for an hour. Right? Because that could be,
Yeah.
yes, you discovered something. This is a
But it's
clue
like
you
very
got because
Call of
then,
Cthulhu, like make like a sanity roll almost, where it's like you have
yeah,
to. That's
exactly.
interesting. Ooh, Danger Doodle said, or theme it like to the type of criminal, like an art dealer that's laundering money could be at an art gallery or things like that. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. So you can
yeah. So
take
like
it.
the event at the end that like where the accusations could happen could be themed around either what kind of criminal it is.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah. So I like
So
that.
like
I like
yeah,
that.
so like Brindlewood Bay is centered around the like Brindlewood Bay is centered around like the Mavens is what they're called, where
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
are the ladies who are in the book club. So all of your
Cute.
characters, no matter whatever your background, you're in that. So with
Okay.
this,
This one
maybe
is going to
it's
be more like
kind
people who live kind of it is the like Desperate Housewives,
the
like it's
Desperate
all the people
Housewives.
that live
What if
in
it's called
this gated community.
Housewives and it is
Oh,
just all
so
the
it is so
housewives?
this is uh okay, hear me
Desperate
out.
Housewives meets the Burbs.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
again, like the Burbs is like if you've ever seen it, it is just like
Mhm.
a creepy family has moved in. One of them's a doctor, but all the family members are a little off and weird. What are they up to? Let's
Yeah.
go and have dinner with them. And
Mhm.
while we're there, I'm going to use the bathroom. And like, you were
Yeah, and
able
then
to
I'm gonna
do
like
that
snoop through their
snooping.
medicine cabinet and stuff like that. Okay, okay,
Mhm,
this is
mhm,
fun.
mhm.
Okay, so now I want to know because if we're doing like, let's just figure out the world itself. Let's figure out. So we know it's in a
Mm,
gated community, right?
yep.
I already know the kind of character I would want to play in this, and that is going to be like I want to play like a housewife who is also like a romance author or something.
Yep.
Um,
I would want to play like the like Aubrey Plaza teen or like young adult, the Aubrey
ooh,
Plaza, the whatever. I'm on my phone most of the time. And then
mm.
it's like, this, and like pulls up like a wanted photo. This looks like
Yeah, you're the one
them,
who
but I
like
think they're wearing a wig. And it's a
yeah,
bad
like
wig.
you're the one who does like the I just watched this SNL
Like I
skit that
don't
cracked me up, which was this SNL skit which was bringing in these two like early 20 something girls who were
mhm.
like interning at the police or the detective's office
Yes, yes,
for
yes, yes.
college credit, and every single time, like every single case the guy
Like
opens
there's
up,
a
they immediately go found him, and it's like, yeah, I looked at his Instagram, but his Instagram is or his Facebook is private, but his mom's is totally public, and so now she just
but
posted that
that's
blah
what
blah blah. And so
yeah, so that's like
okay,
how you have the
so
playbooks of
yeah,
like because I think of
I
Forged
think
in the
your
Dark games
character
have
that
plays.
can be like
Mhm.
a certain like a stat block almost for like certain that
Yeah,
can be like a character type.
they're
So
in
like
like
your character type is
technology.
gonna
They're
be
like low
yeah,
charisma, but like
it's the
high.
social media like high
Mhm.
investigation, low charisma. So like you're really good at finding people or finding like things, information based on looking at everybody's like socials, looking at everybody's like digital footprint. So yeah, your
Yeah, like
character
sitting there
would
like
be the like
checking the
social media.
Wi-Fi. Right,
Yeah,
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 like
yeah,
using
yeah.
the phone to like look on that, like taking a
Mhm.
picture of something because no one else is going to.
Mhm.
Like it's like I saw pills like laying here. It's like, "Oh, click, I took a
Yeah.
picture of these."
Like knowing how to but also like doing sneaky shit, like knowing how to like take a selfie but angle it just right so
But
you're
get
getting
them
something
in
in
the
the background.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my
So
character
that would be
is
my character.
very like I think my character is very much the like she's like the lonely housewife. She's a romance or like she's an author that does like mystery books or like dark romance stories and stuff because her husband's like always out of
The
town on a business
seducer.
trip What?
This is the character that tries to seduce their way. This is the I would like to seduce the guard character.
Yes, yes. Well,
Because you
because
write
yeah,
the dark
her.
fantasy stuff.
But also like her husband is always away on a business trip, and so she always has the people for working for the landscaping company over at her house. She's always
Oh
getting.
wait, that's the one. That's the skill is that you have the resources, right? So your character would
Mm,
have like high resources of, oh hey,
yes.
I know a guy for this. So like kind of in the charm and the resources,
Yeah.
but maybe not as stealthy. That would be like the social character. Like if it were
Yeah, that is the bard.
like
She
if
is the bard of the group for
yeah,
sure.
or like
Yeah.
if we're thinking in a World of Darkness, in Vampire the Masquerade, I think of the Toreador. A
Okay.
Toreador
Okay.
can't fight, doesn't have a lot of skills that are going to be
Love it.
useful in these streets, is pretty squishy. But if you
Okay.
need someone to bat eyes at a mortal to let you into the building,
I love
that's the
that.
one you bring. So you let the
I need to
others do
pitch
that.
my VTM character to you sometime cuz like
Oh,
I
I have one that I love. I want to play a ministry member that runs a yoga studio
I've never
because
here's the thing, I've never played
Setite.
VTM before. I don't know anything about
Oh
it.
yeah.
But I
Oh
have
yeah.
had a
No,
character
Matt knows.
concept that I've been wanting to play forever.
I want to play because ministry members have a flock, right? So because they
Yeah.
were originally called Setites, where they instead of thinking that Cain was the first vampire, they believed that Set from Egyptian mythology was the first vampire, and so
Yeah.
they have this big
Okay.
cult following. They're cultists basically, and so I thought,
Love it.
what is more culty than a wellness industry? So
Then a
so
wellness guru. Oh my god,
than
that's
a
so
wellness guru.
funny.
So I want to make
Yes.
a wellness guru ministry member in a Vampire the
Yeah.
Masquerade game
That's
where she's
honestly
just all
genius.
peace and love. And while
Yeah.
you guys are meditating really deeply, I'm going to come by really quickly with some essential oils and it's going to be fine. And then, or like, you want to
I
do a one
love
on one session?
I would
Yep.
wait, hold on. Let's see. Oh, Matt says I would like to be the totally too forward, nosy old man neighbor. Hey there, bud.
Yes.
What you up to this evening? That's a whole lot of landscaping dirt there, bud. I love the bud. I love the constant like
Hey, bud.
that is a Midwest accent. Like that.
What you doing?
Yeah.
What you got?
Got a project or 12 coming up or something? Yes. He's like he plays the like father figure to a lot of characters, but it's like to
Hmm.
new people, it's kind of creepy and it's kind of like you're in my fucking business, bro. I
I
love
imagine
that.
like that would be the type of character that would be like, that paneling's on the backside of your house. Well, y'all are at work tomorrow. I'm gonna come on by. I'm just gonna paint it real quick. I'm just gonna replace
Mm,
that plank, and then they use their handyman skills. Maybe that's the playbook
yes.
for it. The
Yeah.
handyman skills to like pull up the deck planks
This is
and
so
to use their
good.
toolkit to be able
Yeah.
to do that. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. There should also be like another like younger character who is like your character if you would be like the
The older sister, and then there's like
yeah.
the
But there's
younger spunky kid.
I was thinking there should be like the neighborhood babysitter. You know what I mean? Like she's the girl who's like
Oh,
she's the cheerleader, she's the blonde one. She's like, "Oh, I can
yeah.
totally come and babysit little Timmy this weekend. That's totally fine." Like that kind of like she's she's like kind of
I think
nerdy
yeah.
but really like perky and nice and very sweet, but like she is able to talk to like the kids cuz kids never shut up and kids
Mm.
love to be honest about personal business. And
Oh
I feel
yeah.
like she's the one who gets all the info from like the kids who just wanna like talk and say like, oh yeah, my mom does this, that, and the other, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah, like to be able to
Hmm.
like get the info from them.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, what's the deal?
that's so
I love
fun. I
that.
love it. Okay, so let's put ourselves in this world right now. Let's do this is my
Okay.
favorite part is like my favorite thing is doing character creation. I am
Hmm.
I love world building, but character creation is my jam because I love building a character and building like a world around this like story, right? So
Hmm.
let's say that we're in this gated community. First off, actually, I gotta ask the hard question: what is this neighborhood called? What do we name the gated community? And like I can just go to like a name generator and we can go from there. but
No, we
I
don't
think
need
it'd be
any
cool if
name
we like,
generators.
yeah, I think it would. Oh, shady something. What about like shady
Shady
pines?
Pines.
Oh my god!
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Is
Did we
Shady
just?
Pines another thing? Because I
I
feel
don't
like
know, but
maybe
did we
it's
just
like a.
say
Hold
that
on,
at the
wait.
same time? That's so funny.
Hold on, wait. I'm trying to think.
Okay, I
Oh, that's
have
from
to.
Golden Girls.
Is
That's
it
why
Golden
we knew it.
Girls? That's
There's a
so funny.
retirement home community. Yeah, that's Shady Pines.
I
Yeah,
do
Shady
not
Pines
remember
is
the
a
last
thing. I
time I
just had to look
actually
it up. I was like,
watched that.
there's
That's
no
so
way
funny.
that our brains
It
both
had to
went to
have
that
been.
unless it was already in something else.
Yeah,
Shady
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pines, ma,
Shady
because
Pines is
it's
so
where
funny.
it's where Dorothy continues to threaten to send her mother. Like
Yeah.
Shady Pines, ma.
That's so funny. I had no idea.
That's
I don't remember the last time I
hilarious.
actually watched Golden Girls. That's so
I
funny
used
that
to
that
work in a
happened. We
nursing home,
mind
so that
linked.
was one of our main shows. We watched a
That's so
lot of
good. Yep.
We watched a lot of Golden Girls, and we watched a lot of Rick Steves Europe. They
Okay.
love Rick
Okay.
Steves, man. They were all about, and I'm all
My
about that man too. I want his job.
I love that. Okay. So, I like the idea of it being shady something. Um what
Shady
if
Grove.
we
I'm double checking.
Grove works?
The first thing
Shady
I find is
Grove.
Shady Grove fertility. So
I know, I
Shady
just saw that one
Grove.
too. I like Shady Grove. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shady Grove, like, um,
Ooh, Shady Acres.
Shady
Well, you
Acres
have
is
to be careful
interesting.
saying shady very fast, like I just did, where it sounds like something else. Shady Grove.
I love it. Oh, Shady Acres. Wait.
Shady Acres Rodeo in Hope Mills, North Carolina. That's
This
in
is
my neck
fun.
of the woods.
Oh my god, I
Shady
love
Acres.
this.
Exactly.
Shady Acres.
You got me.
So maybe not. I mean, I like the idea of shady. But it could be like, God, I don't know. Hmm. I'm trying to think, like, our first thought was Shady Pines, right? But I like the idea
Yeah.
of, like, let's try and think of maybe like, a lot of these things are named, a lot of, like, neighborhoods or streets and stuff, they're going to be named after some kind of plant. They're going to be named after some kind of, like a tree or something. Or, like, even
Like,
in
yeah.
Desperate Housewives, the street is Wisteria Lane, right? So
Mm-hmm.
hear me out on this because I love naming things based on, like, when I name my characters, I look up the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of names, or like names that mean a certain things regarding that character. So what if we looked up like plants or trees that like represent or like are symbols, like have some kind of symbolism like um in like secrets or in
My brain
knowledge or
immediately
things
goes
like
to
that. You know what I mean?
Nightshade. Oh, wait. Hold on, wait. I found a book when I was cleaning. Hold on. This is great. This is perfect for this.
Okay, okay, I love this.
Where did I put it? Yeah. Sorry, no. And I'm so sorry. It was like a. Well, there's one. It's one where it's like a bunch of poison plants. It's a thing. It's got like a bunch of like
Okay.
poisonous plant. Where did I put it? I saw it. I cleaned and then I left some of the stuff here. But oh wait, are you over here? Don't ask me why I got a book about poisonous plants. It's in here.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
This one and then there. There we
This
go.
is fun. I'm enjoying this. Ooh, snapdragons is cool.
Okay, well I
Shady
found
might
one
be
of them.
too on the nose, yeah.
Oh.
Snapdragons
Alright,
is
it's a
really
little
pretty.
chaotic, but don't worry about it. It's good. Okay, so
What? Oh god.
Hi. Yes, I have books. I have a lot of plant books, kind of like from my herbal witch era. Yeah.
Hey, Justin, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
I have to ask, why do you have that kind of book? Yeah, I have a lot of history books. You know, as a history teacher, I can get it. I have a book. Is it on this shelf? I have a book about, it's called Hung, Drawn, and Quartered, and it was about different historical ways that executions took place. I have one that's about toxic and venomous plants and animals.
Danger
And
Doodle
that was the
says
one
something really cool, which is concealing a snapdragon makes a person appear fascinating and cordial. And in the language of flowers, snapdragons are said to represent both deception, perhaps tied to the notion of concealment, and graciousness. Now, I like this, but hear me out. Hear me out about
I'm gonna
snapdragons.
keep looking over.
What if, like, what if there is a theme, like, throughout the game that the GM can bring up as, like, the person who... I'm sorry, hold on. I'm cutting myself off to ask Justin, what do you mean by this? Because Justin in chat says, listen, like,
it's a Magic the Gathering.
Okay, yeah.
I have a deck that is.
You said don't worry about squirrels until I got an army of squirrels trying to take my boards. That's wild.
Don't worry about it. I had there was a couple of squirrels, and they were an army of them, and they were attacking, and it's my squirrel deck. My squirrel deck's getting some upgrades soon too. So like.
Cool. Now, okay.
So, here we go.
Putting myself back on track was responding to Danger Doodle's thing, who said snapdragons are said to represent deceptiveness. What if, or deception, what if there is a theme in the book, like in the playbook, where the GM can choose like a character that has snapdragons in their garden? That like one of the plants that they have is snapdragons, and like if people don't know, then they're not going to think that is particularly like suspicious. But people who do know, or people who are like kind of paying attention, are like, oh, that person's kind of shady, because like just because like the snapdragon's just representing, that's like a weird little like thematic hint that people can put in there.
Well, I mean that could be kind of like it's like a magical thing like Order of the Snapdragon or something like that.
Ooh, yeah, that's the cult. That's the cult.
Yeah, that's the cult that you have.
Or
it's Foxglove. Foxglove, a common ornamental and toxic plant with bell-shaped flowers. An extract of leaves is a powerful heart medicine and a reagent in magic of life and death.
Okay, so Foxglove.
Like Foxglove. Wood.
Like
Foxglove Grove.
I was gonna say
Grove, like, Glove and Glove. See, that's too hard to say.
The other one I was thinking of is I think Lily of the Valleys are like a toxic
I'm looking for all the toxic ones right now.
Yeah, so like
because they all have a little thing.
But I like also it shouldn't be a name that's too
Wormwood. Wormwood. A toxic herbaceous plant with silvery leaves and sharp, bitter scent, considered a patron plant of herbalists and valued for its all-encompassing protection.
So protection is really good too, because like if this is like a gated community, we'll just call it like Wormwood Homes or something.
Yeah.
It's a gated community.
Wormwood Estates.
Wormwood Estates, perfect. Oh, I
love
this. Or
Foxglove Estates. Either of those good. Either of those are really good.
Okay, Wormwood is a street in the gated community, but Wormwood Way, because I think that's really pretty. But Foxglove Estates is really pretty. I like that better.
Yeah. All right, Foxglove Estates. And then I think the game, or like that could also be, maybe that's a thing that if it's in maybe if it's in a book where you can create your own neighborhood, right? We add I'm going into full game design mode now.
I love
we add in like a bunch of plants, like in the little document, you add in a bunch of plants and their meanings and stuff like that.
So like the GM can actually choose like
the GM.
What do you want your neighborhood to be called? Okay.
Yeah, what's your neighborhood like? Is it a Gilmore Girls northeastern place, and is it in the fall? Or is this a small town area in like Arizona? Is it out in California? Because you can flavor them based off of the like maybe the environs that you're in, but there's also maybe that's giving you a hint. That can give you a hint as to what kind of story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love this. Okay. So my thing is I'm very much like I'm gonna put myself in the story. Let's try and figure out like if I was this, if I was in this character, if I was the character, right? So I want to be this like romance author, lonely housewife because my husband's always out of town on his business trips, even though he's a fucking car salesman or some bullshit like that, right? I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Um, oh, hold on. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I muted myself. Sorry. You're just as suspicious as the new neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm not committing really bad, dangerous crimes. I'm just cheating on my husband.
Maybe they're not either.
Who knows? But if
Who
this
knows?
was, see, my brain always goes into like story mode of like, if I was in a show like this, if I was in a movie like this kind of thing. Because I didn't start playing ttrpgs until 2 years ago. So I am very much I go into the like, if this was a story that I was telling or if this was a movie or a show that I was in kind of thing.
Oh yeah. What scene would this be in? Yeah, I worked in film for a brief amount of time as well. So like I get you.
I love that.
So getting into the idea of our characters. So what are we doing?
Let's do some like character. Let's try and like get in character here. So I'm trying to think like my character, first off, I think my name would be something like Cassandra or some bullshit like that. I want to look up like names like
I'm
like
Vivian.
Sultry sounding names. You're Vivian?
Yeah, Vivian, like, and it's like her family's all like squeaky clean and polished. Like maybe she's the like daughter of a like city council member, and so like she can't dye her hair black, but she can put on like some makeup that's like a little edgier. She's like, so she can't go full. So she's like, again, like the Aubrey Plaza sort of thing, and in Parks and Rec, where dark, spooky would be goth if the parents would allow it. And
yeah, like you're too young to like go out and buy your own makeup or something.
Yeah, no. I think that she's probably in that like 15 to 16 kind of age. Like I feel like she's 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
She's where she works, well, like she wants to work, but her parents are like, no, don't do that. So she's like, fine, I'll babysit. So that way it kind of crosses over like
so she is
the
like the
babysitter role.
Okay, I like it.
Because I feel like anyone who's the babysitter, they're going to be old enough to like get to where they need to be, like to have the mobility, right? Because like a little kid, it would be like kids on bikes and you're biking around the neighborhood. Yeah. Whereas her, I love the idea of what you said earlier about she's like always attached to her phone, but she always reads a book. So it's like she kind of is constantly like going between the phone and the book and the phone and the book. But she's
her head is always down kind of thing.
Her head's always down, but as a result, like if this were in Call of Cthulhu, her listen is like up.
Yeah.
Like she's always there. And so she'd like always be like this, like kind of looking down, looking up. And then that same sort of thing if she's on her phone, click. So that is where her situation is kind of like in a deception, but low charisma, high intelligence. Yeah. Okay. So she's just like, or like maybe if something's going on, she can use her phone and it looks like she's texting, but she's recording something.
Head down, ears up.
I love that. Danger Doodle. That's good.
Allura is beautiful. Cordelia, I love. It's giving very like, I mean, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Is every time I think of
I've named two characters Cordelia, both in APs that are coming out at the same time. One we started so many years ago, and then I was like, this is never gonna air. And then another one that then started airing as soon as the person's like, hey, remember that AP we did? I finally edited it. It's going out. And I'm like, I have two Cordelias in the universe at the same time.
Good. I love it. That's so funny. I think, so if you're going to be Vivian or Viv, I think my character would be, I like either Allura. I do like Helena.
I like Cassandra. Helena's good too.
Helena or just Helen, I think, because it gives very, if she is the character that's like, oh, I'm so lonely. I'm so, yeah, she's just like
Yeah.
the one who's like bringing in all the boys. I think Helen is really
Keep
great
your
for that.
skirt down, Helen.
No, Helen's a whore and I love her. I'm loving this so much. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, so, this is so fun. I love this so much because I love that, like, so this stream, first off, my show does not have any, there's no rails. We can't get derailed if there's no rails to begin with, right?
Good, because I'm taking them off anyway.
Yep. So because
I hate rails.
Some streams, like if you've seen like my earlier episode with Diana of the Rose, it's very like, we'll create our characters and we like get into the world and we're like, okay, this is the kind of story. Or like, if this was a D&D game, we would play these kind of characters. We would figure out these like stats for each other. But it was mostly like, we didn't come up with like game mechanics, or it wasn't like like, let's get into a game, like game master, like game building mode. It was mostly just writing the fiction of it. But then you've got like this story, and I'm getting rid of the rails. Where did you get those? Yeah,
you guys had rails.
I had rails. Where did the rails come from? When did I get those? Yeah, but then stories like this one, or like if you saw my last week stream with Weston with Arcane Anthems, that was great because we wrote like a whole ass campaign in 2 hours. It was
nice.
It was so fun. We ran through, like, we came up with the entire plot of what the campaign, like what this story would be. It was beautiful. I am not someone who comes up with plot very often. I come up with like, I do the world and the background and the character arcs and stuff, and that is, but I don't do the full plot of the story. The point of this show is so that I can do the like, ooh, what if things. So when we go into like actual like game building of like, okay, if this was a game, this is the name of the game, this is how the game works, these are the rules and all this. I get so excited because I don't know.
Well, okay.
I don't know how to do this, but it's fun.
What dice do you... Okay, how about this? What dice do you have by you right now?
I've got my whole collection, actually. Let me grab it.
Perfect. Okay, so
are we rolling dice?
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Okay, let's live D6 life, okay? Let's just get a couple of, like, if you got a note. I have my...
Listen to that dice ASMR.
Yeah, this is mostly D10s and D20s. These are a lot of my D10s for when I play Vampire. And then I've got, like, miscellaneous, like, a couple of them there. Yeah. I'm a Mason jar millennial, so it is what it is.
If you were my sister, who saw my collection of, like, containers and stuff, she called me a container mom. And I was like, how dare you be so correct?
I'm not going to lie. When I saw your container for it, which is great, it made me think of how someone created mobile charcuterie in a box like that and called it a snackle box. It's like a tackle box.
That's just an adult Lunchable.
It is. I actually saw someone who used pita bread, who used like a container of pita bread, pepperoni. They found like marinara that you could squirt out, and they made grown-up Lunchables.
I love it.
They made grown-up Lunchables that were like pizzas that big.
Also,
you eat them cold.
Whatever dice we're doing right now, focus. I want to use these dice for it because they're really pretty.
Ooh, okay.
They're white. You can't see it that well, but it's got some very subtle, pretty white and pink sparklies on the inside.
Nice. Okay, so let's call it 2d6. We're going to kind of live roughly Brindlewood Bay-ish. We'll be Brindlewood Bay adjacent, okay? So, and I'll pull up what the, success rolls and stuff are. I just think that would be so fun, right? Because...
Mare just going full DM on me. I love it.
We're just going because I love gaming. I love the randomness of games because I'm not gonna lie. Like I teach theater, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but like I get anxious with improv. Improv when I was doing
Oh.
theater in school, I get anxious with like making a decision on what comes next. That's why I
Yeah.
love TTRPGs because the dice give
Make
you
the
a suggestion.
decisions. Yeah.
Well, and
So
you read tarot as well, right? I think we've
I
talked about
do.
that in the past, right? So for me
I think
in
these two
tarot,
die, like color wise, are perfect for
yeah,
Foxglove. What do we call it? Foxglove Estates.
uh,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
like
All right.
clean
Well, if we're gonna do
and
that,
yeah. Also,
if
yes, I
we're
do
gonna do
read
that, then I'm
tarot.
gonna get my two black D6 for this
Ooh,
little
fun.
emo character.
Whoever whoever was hanging out with me at PAX Unplugged remembers when I just posted up multiple times in random corners of the convention just doing tarot readings for everybody.
All right, so here's and then I'm about to send you in a DM the kind of
Okay.
move that we're gonna do for each of these, and then we'll come up
Fun.
with like
Okay.
itty bitty stats. We're not gonna do like a full
Yes.
character sheet. Let's just think of where's Discord's over here.
I
Well,
did make full character sheets one time. It was the stream I did with Paige,
uh-huh.
Pluto Cleric. We our story was high fantasy rock stars, and we came up with some
Oh.
really good ones. So if you see over on the side here of the overlay where all of these doodles
Uh-huh.
are, what
Yeah.
these doodles are, each of them are a doodle that represents an episode that I've done. So like
Oh, that's so
yeah, so
cute.
like that one right there is the two big tops ass to ass. If you've seen the Instagram reel, that was the one I did with uh Diana of the Rose. But the elephant one that you see over there, it's an
Yeah.
elephant with kiss makeup on. And it was from the high
That
fantasy it was from the high fantasy um Rockstars stream where we made it was gnome triplets, which the three little earrings on that elephant are three little mushrooms that represent
Oh my
the
gosh.
three gnome triplets, and the elephant was their drummer, who was a loxodon. And it was so
Aww.
cute. It was so gay. It was so fun, and but we did these like rock stars with these rock stars in like a D&D setting. We came up with so much within just the first hour that we were like, so should we just make their character sheets? And then we did. It was fun.
Aww.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Okay, so you're sending me a
Okay.
DM
So I
on
sent a
there it is.
DM to you. And so
Ooh,
we're going to
okay.
use just like the clue finding element of it, right? So the meddling
Fun.
move.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it says on here, when you search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information, describe how you're doing so, and roll with the appropriate ability. Now, for the abilities that we have there, the abilities in Brindlewood Bay are vitality, composure, reason, presence, and sensitivity.
Okay.
Because like, you know, the spookiness of it. But for this,
Yeah.
we could just do like, we can just do D&D stats and then like just
Yeah.
add like a 3 2 1 or something like
Okay.
that, or we don't
Yeah.
even really have to do it. Maybe we'll just give ourselves like, I'm getting like a note here. I love a notepad nearby.
This is fun.
So let's pick some stats and then
Any
we'll
game
go from
developers
there.
in
I will
chat,
turn anything into a game.
any game developers in chat, hit us up so we can try and make Foxglove.
Oh
We
yeah.
can try and make Gated the TTRPG happen for reals.
Well, War Torn Knight has seen me do some game design on my channel.
Yes.
So
I love.
War Torn Knight knows that I am bad at math and I'm bad at creating math for games. So we're just going to kind of do this. Foxglove Estates. All right. So let's go over. Okay, let's see. I think that I love like the D&D ones of like intelligence, wisdom, con, strength. Let's just kind of do like that. Con, strength.
Okay.
Intelligence, wisdom, con, strength, dex. There's always one I forget.
Charisma?
Charisma. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just go with those.
Okay.
And
which I think charisma would 100% be Helen's stat because she is the.
So then let's just add like do 2 plus 2s. No, a +2, 2 plus 1s, and then zeros for the other.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, just to keep life easy like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and write yours down.
That she needs to finish, but not right now. You're busy.
Yeah, no, and I won't get derailed on the system. I did do a little bit of thinking on it recently, but I'm really excited for the system.
Good. We can
Then I can't wait
later and talk about that after.
Yeah, I can't wait until I actually finish it and can like add game designer into my like bio and
resume,
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your +2 would be charisma, right?
Yes, yeah.
All right, int with con.
I feel like she's very like sultry and like seductive. I feel like Dex would be a +1. She's very physical in that way.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
Yoga
okay, so
or Pilates or something. So yeah, I think Dex.
Charisma +2, Dex +1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you have another +1 to put somewhere. Strength, con, wisdom, or intelligence.
I would say intelligence.
Okay.
She knows a lot about a lot of people because she hears a lot.
All right, cool. So then for mine, to kind of help balance it out, I'm definitely having a 0 in charisma. I think that wisdom would be hers. Like, I think she's got street smarts.
Yes,
so, you know,
so she's like
very
really high insight.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's definitely her thing. So wisdom would be there. I think that she's got, I think I would give her like a, I don't want to like just flip and do all of the other stats you don't have. But you know what? Sure, we'll do it. I'll do like she's got a +1 for strength, and then I think I will give her a +1. I'll give her a +1 to con, but I think that she would say it's just for like the constitution of dealing with like the cringe old people stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say that works. You could also argue that like intelligence would be
because
really
she's
good
younger.
For her. And then honestly, I think maybe like Helen, like having a high constitution could work too.
Right?
Like
yeah. Well, because okay.
So Helen being
so
like
what I have for
+1 in
you,
con, and you being a +1 in intelligence, I think that makes a little bit more sense.
Okay, well, all right. So do you want to do that then?
Yeah, let's just flip that. I'll do the +1 in con, and you do the +1.
Because I feel like that is a little more there. Okay,
that makes a little bit more sense. I like that.
Yeah, +1, and then con nothing, because she's a picky eater or something. And then I think that she has like a +1 in strength because she's still in PE. You know, like she's maybe on like like she was forced to do a sport by her parents, so she's doing like field hockey or something.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I actually like that. I feel like that's such a bougie sport. Okay, so let's do this then. This is so fun.
All right.
Here I'm gonna take a picture.
The rules that you sent me too.
Yeah, I'll even send you a picture of this so that way we can kind of see what it is. Sweet.
This is so fun.
Yeah,
Yay.
I'll just make a game and casually play it.
We love a little improv one shot.
Yeah, like improv one shot over here on the channel. All right.
I did that. That happened to me once. I haven't posted it yet. It hasn't come out yet. But in one of the like backlog episodes that I still need to edit and post, I did an episode with Johnny talking XP, and in part of our like derailment, he knows all about an OC that I made for his campaign, because I make OCs for everything. And I made an OC for his campaign while I was like binging it. And actually he helped me create the OC, which is wild. Like, have you guys ever had the creator of the thing that you're a fan of help you make your OC for their thing?
That's kind of cool.
Wild experience. I love Johnny to death, and he helped me make my OC for this. And during this episode that I still need to edit and post, we were talking about this OC, and I said something about like, oh, in this scene, if she were there, or if she was in this one like part, she would do this, that, and the other. I'm curious how this one like NPC would have reacted to that. And he goes, roll a d20. And I was like, are you making me play D&D right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's fun. Like, again, like coming from the ttrpg world, like, I mean, I'm either deep into writing like 700 to 800 words on a forum, or I'm reacting in the peanut gallery, or I'm overthinking what my character does. So something fun like this, I mean, I feel like there's nothing wrong with like a little practice or whatever. Okay, it's so fun. I love it. Are we a part of the welcoming committee now, or are we like, do we want to just jump to like we're at the party and snooping around their house?
Let's jump to like we're at the party. Let's just get into it and say, all right, we're deep into the game,
all right,
into the story.
Garden party. So we arrive at the garden party. There's hors d'oeuvres. They've got some of the little string lights hung behind the trees. There's like one of those little fountains in the middle that's got the hedge garden sort of thing. Out in the back area, you see that they've got like the hedges that are like low enough, like they're privacy hedges, but they're low enough because I imagine this is on a California kind of hill where it's low enough, but you can still look out over and see the city lights. There's a handful of trees, like maybe like a little gazebo that's kind of tucked away somewhere. And of course, we're on the back side of this house. Let's say it's like just a big 2-story, big rectangle, sandstone, red roof, California looking house. So the first, so like what kind of, who is hosting the party? Let's get a look.
Oh, you know what? I think it would be interesting if, are we saying like who is the new neighbor? Who is the NPC?
Who's the new neighbor? Who is the new neighbor whose yard we're in right now? Because we're gonna snoop around the house during this party.
And we say it's a 4-person. We'll say it's a 4-person household.
Yeah, like 4-person house. Yeah. So so we can go back and forth.
Like 2.5 kids. Okay. I think it's gonna be a stay-at-home mom. She's a stay-at-home mom. And her husband is, I think the husband, I'm trying to decide like what kind of like career this guy does. I think he is like in banking somehow.
Yeah, he's a banker.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's in banking.
So banking and investments, right?
Yes.
Because that can be where, the question marks can come from.
He's in investments is what the actual like what people say.
He works in
investments. Like, so what does he do? Yeah, he works in.
He works in investments. Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck does that mean?
I think that they have a like golden boy like himbo of a son, like a sport playing. I think they've got like the sport playing blonde.
I actually think.
Son.
Oh, I was gonna say. See, part of me was thinking like I think the son is younger. I think the son is someone who Vivian babysits. But the other idea. Yeah, the other idea that would be interesting is if the son is like Vivian's age. And it's like,
so I'm thinking the son is Vivian's age, and maybe there's like a little daughter that is babysat.
The daughter, but the son can't babysit all the time because
he's doing like travel soccer or something.
Yeah, he's like, no, if we want to go real bougie, he's on the lacrosse team at school.
Yep.
He's on the lacrosse team for sure. And he always has practice after school, and so he can't watch his little sister.
He can't babysit. Right.
So Vivian
and then he's got like the big campaign. They've got like the stuff on the weekends, like constantly in training, like different things like that. Yeah. Like he's trying to go to the Olympics. Like he's an Olympic prospect, right? Like
he's going to like his.
Maybe he's like almost going to college. He's like
he's like one. I would say he's like 1 year older than Viv because I imagine Viv is like a junior. Right? So he's like a senior, and he's always like, oh, there's a college scout watching the game this time. There's always like college scouts watching whatever. So he's always
like he's been touring colleges since he was in 9th grade.
Absolutely. He is riding on that lacrosse scholarship for sure.
Yep. And so he had to be here for this, but it's actually moving him closer to like a good training sort of place. And then for the daughter,
one of the like maybe one of the other like neighbors. I know you said like you know, Viv would be like the daughter of like, you know, someone on like city council or in like, you know, in like
Mm-hmm.
politics, but I also think what if instead Viv is the daughter, like her dad like works at the school and it is like
Well,
the
maybe her mom works at a school or something. Because I do like the dad being like politician
in
man.
politics, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
the mom is
I
like
mean, she's like
but higher up. She's not a
secretary.
teacher. She's like in admin somehow. I think she's like what if she's like the vice principal? And so that's why her
Sure.
whole thing is like very about like you not only represent this family but like you represent the school. So you represent like you know me working here because you go to this school. You have to represent the family while you're at school all the time and so she's like a hard ass when it comes to like students. So she's like the
Sure. Yeah. I
disciplinarian
mean,
admin. Yeah. Sorry, I'm
yeah.
like
I
coming up
mean,
with
well, there's
your
not.
whole character's like
I
family
know. Yeah.
dynamic,
That's
but
why
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to sit there and be like, now wait a minute. Like,
Yeah.
but you know,
I'm
you
trying to
give me
think.
more about your character then.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Or
you can
I'm
say
gonna come
no.
up with
These.
stuff for your
You know what?
character.
Do it. Go for it. Tell me about
Do
Helen.
it. Fine.
What's Helen?
I think
What
you've got
is Helen's
twins.
husband's?
You've got twins that are driving you nuts at home.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe that's how Viv knows your character because has babysat the twins when you've had to go on a writing retreat sometime.
Yeah.
And so for tonight, though, because my parents took me out to make sure that I'm, you know, this is a big event kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
My parents made sure I'm here. So they're at like a daycare somewhere, or like someone else is watching them somewhere else.
Like the old lady who doesn't leave her house very often. Like
right.
That's watching. So what is Helen's husband's job? Because if he's like always out of town, he's always traveling.
I think he's like. I think Helen's husband is. I think that he is selling software internationally. Like, has to go do like the software demonstrations for like internationally, and he speaks a bunch of different languages. So, like, I imagine that maybe the fantasy novels that your character's writing, what if they're like imagining instead of her husband being a boring like nerd, like, you know, crunching numbers, like accounts for a software firm nerd, she's like imagining he's some sort of spy, right? Like, you know, so maybe she sits there and is like coming up with, oh, he's away in Slovakia because did you know that he did something very interesting? And so like she's trying to make his job seem so much cooler than it actually is.
Okay, I love that. That's great. Okay. Yeah.
Helen I have a boyfriend, he just lives in Canada.
her books are all like crime drama romances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. Her books fit this theme and tone very well. Like that's
yeah, so maybe that's how she's kind of coming up with like the concoction for like, you know, I actually wrote something about this. This is actually, you know, both it's giving her an idea as well as maybe she's getting like ramped up in the mystery of it all.
She's too immersed in like her own story that she is like conflating. There's character bleed going on for her.
Yeah,
of,
like, for sure.
What she's writing versus what's actually happening. Do we think her husband is there at the party this time, or is he away on a trip? Did he leave to go on a trip during the party?
Maybe he's away. Maybe he like tried to get back, but he tried to get back and it was supposed to be there, but he's like his flight's delayed in Dubai. So he went skiing in Dubai.
Or he planned like, oh, I'm totally going to be there, but then had to go away on a trip and his flight left like, you know, 2 days before the party or something.
Yeah.
So he like just left and he's just like, I'm sorry, I had to go. And she's just like, you didn't. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. It's very okay.
Do we think her husband exists? And like that's the thing is like Viv is like, maybe I saw him once, but I can't tell if it was him or the pool guy.
He is giving
like she takes pictures inside.
Yeah. Interesting idea though. What if her husband actually just left her? But because he had like gone back and forth, he traveled all the time anyway. this is just an extended trip, and she's still pretending like he's going to come back. But
that's so sad.
Not.
I love it.
Yeah. And she still wears her wedding ring and everything because she's like, no, it's totally fine. Like, she's pretending.
And like the story bits are getting.
She's been inviting more and more, like,
roll a d20 for how long he's been gone.
Oh, that's rough. Okay.
Let's do it in months.
In
so
months.
20 out of months.
I was gonna say in weeks, but in months is rough. Okay.
Months.
Imagine I get 20. Oh god.
He's been gone almost 2 years.
Oh shit! I dropped my die. Hold on. Let's try it again. If it falls on the floor, it doesn't count. Shit! I was gonna say years. That's rough.
How many months?
17.
Oh
that's
my god.
Bad. That's bad.
No. Yeah, no, he just became he's an interim manager at a corporate office in Angola.
Yes. Helen just became such a sad character. Helen immediately became such a depressing character. Listen, if I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna write a depressing bitch.
He comes back every now and then, and so when someone else says that they got to see him, she's like, "Oh, he was in town recently. That's right." And she has not been able to see him. He
comes back to see the twins. He comes back to see his kids. But he makes sure to time it and do everything to avoid seeing her.
Oh my god, that means Viv has probably seen him.
Oh, this is heartbreaking. I need to write Helen now. I need to write Helen's story. I'm so upset.
So messed up.
It's messy, man.
Viv's
yeah, and I think
here like Viv is just like, has anything interesting happened today? Nope.
Mm-hmm. I do think that Helen. Okay, here's something that you can write for me for Helen. So in this like year and a half, to cope, she invites she's always having work done on the house. She's either getting like her pool cleaned.
Yeah, because he's here to do it.
Yeah, and it's always like is the real plot of the campaign. Truly.
Helen's trying to find something to distract her, and so she is letting the bleed from her.
Yeah.
Like, she came up with an idea for her story. Maybe any of the past games of this, it's like she's adding these things, these adventures into her book.
Yeah. Okay. So my question is with Helen. She's always getting something on her house done. Her kitchen's getting remodeled. Her pool's being cleaned. Her lawn is getting new. She's getting new like flowers planted or something, right? Which one of these handymen that she like these companies that she invites over do you think is her like regular customer? You know what I mean? Which one do you think she invites? Who's her regular?
Vivian.
Like,
I think Vivian. This is turning into like not even a game, but just like I think Vivian lives across the street. Vivian lives across the street, and Vivian is like Harriet the Spy style, keeping notes, and has like a notes app specifically for what she is doing there. Like, you know, like Vivian, how sometimes like
Vivian goes full Vivian is full mare and has like a red string board.
Yeah, but it's an app on her phone because then she can like close it. She's not going to put that up in her wall. It would be it would block the posters for the punk bands that she listens to that her mom told her she couldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
it's a poster that she got at a Hot Topic or something. Or no,
wait,
you remember those like
No, that's where it is. Maybe she does have it, but it's like underneath her My Chemical Romance posters.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god,
Insane.
Wait, this whole thing has to be set in like Desperate Housewives years. Like it can't be modern.
This is early 2000s. This is like
it has to be set between 2004 and like 2013. Like that's the range where that way we can like limit the stuff on like, oh, I can just Google it.
we can limit technology a little bit more, but still have modern tech for the most part.
Yeah, like the picture on her phone. So then she would have her journal. That's what she's seen around doing. She's like on her, she's like always doodling or doing stuff in the journals. And
So so which one of the handymen does Helen?
Okay, what were the options
a
again?
Little more. I'm kind of just making stuff up. So there's a whole range of stuff that you can get done on your house. Right?
Oh, I think it's gotta be the pool boy.
Oh yeah, she has a regular
because
guy
the
come
pool
over to clean
boy
the pool.
has to like really. He always has to put on a bathing suit, and we're in California now. I guess I decided.
And in the summer.
And in the summer, and then even in like the he has to put on the uniform.
He's definitely like younger than her. He's like in college, but like about to graduate college kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, this is wild. Oh my god.
That's so real. I love that.
Helen is messy. Oh, I love her.
Yeah, no, I think
nuts.
that.
Okay.
So like Helen's there, and then Viv kind of has her own. Like I think she has her own like basic drama going on. Like I think that she has been trying to quit the field hockey team because she's learning to play bass, and so like she's learning to play bass, so she's trying to like quit the field hockey team, but she knows that her mom would find out, so she's been kind of living this little like double life, like showing up for the first part of practice and then disappearing and then like doing stuff like that. So I think that even though I don't have her, I have her more as like a strength, like what was that, I had her wisdom and strength. So I think that she's I don't know, like I think that she's just like, I'm just gonna go to the community college, and her parents are like, no, you've got to go to like my alma mater in Canada, and she's like, no. I don't want that.
Or maybe they like want her to go to college really close, and she's just like, I want to go to a school on the other side of the country to get away from you people.
No, I think that
or she is just like, no, I just want to go to community college and just stay.
Yeah, she's just like, I want to live, because she's into that punk mentality. So like her parents are probably trying to get her to go to some sort of like Ivy League-ish thing because they have an in for that, and she's like, I want to go here because they have a cool music program.
Oh yeah, because we're based in California, so she would want to go to school close by for like the arts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She would want to go to school for the arts, and then her parents are like, but you have the mind for politics like I do.
Yeah. You have to go to Harvard or Yale or...
Yeah, you're supposed to be a natural leader. Genetically, that's supposed to have been what happened to you. Look at the two of us. And she's like... Oh.
Okay, so if new neighbors have a son about Viv's age, maybe like a year older... What is her relationship to this like lacrosse player guy? No daughter of mine will blah blah blah.
Mine will blah blah blah. Exactly.
Exactly.
I think that she I think that she's like, she doesn't dislike him, but they are not the same energy. So it's one of two things. Either it's going to be one of those, he's a golden retriever and she's a black cat. And so it's that sort of like, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, truly like Andy and, why am I forgetting? I just keep thinking Aubrey Plaza.
Andy and
it's right there.
What the hell
I'm not going to Google it because it's going to come back to me. Why did I blank? Guys, Aubrey Plaza's character, Parks and Rec. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in Parks and Rec. Do it without Googling. You have to suffer like us because I'm not Googling it.
Oh no. Why am I blanking on it? No.
I'm not Googling it. I have to remember. These brain cells are so bad.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm...
This is so bad.
Oh, no! Why am I forgetting this?
And... Oh no!
Oh
No, I have to
no.
Google it. I can't do this. I can't stop
Yeah.
the entire stream by not
Wait.
Googling this.
Before you Google it, I'm gonna throw a name out there. I want to say it's Amber. I could be wrong. Um,
Nope.
but it's some. I don't know why I'm thinking it starts with an A. I don't think it does.
Because her name starts with an.
Maybe that's
She plays. April.
April. I knew it started with an A.
It did start with an A.
Ha-ha!
April.
That was shameful. I'm really upset that we forgot
because I was so convinced it didn't have an A for a minute there. But it's just the energy of that character of like Andy and April. I can't believe that I forgot that. I am
very golden retriever with the black cat girlfriend is great. What a beautiful pairing. There's a reason it's so popular. It works.
Yep, that is my relationship. However, I'm kind of like like my husband is a golden retriever, but he's like a working golden retriever. Whereas like when I'm goofy and I'm happy, but then when I'm focused, And then I'm a black cat, but like one that's like eyes are a little too far apart and like stares at the walls and chitters at stuff. So like dark and spooky until I'm like so.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Very a derpy black cat.
That's me.
I love that. A long-haired black cat, probably.
So, but that's the thing of like, she doesn't want to like him, but then it's like he's fine, and that's all she's ever gonna tell anyone. But he's like, hey, this Pokemon card reminded me of you, and it's like an Umbreon, and she's like, Pokemon.
It is
weird, and she loves it.
It is the reverse of the song Teenage Dirtbag. Like it is the he secretly listens to MCR and like Paramore and shit like that.
Yeah, he has like those he'll say like those randomly deep thoughts about like what he thinks the meaning of a song is, and she'll just be sitting there just like,
yeah, or like she like quotes like a Fall Out Boy song or has like a Fall Out Boy like quote written on the cover of her notebook, and or like an MCR lyric like written on her journal, and he says something like, "Okay, Gerard," and she's just like, "You know this?" And something like that, and she internally is like losing her mind about it.
Or like it'll be one of those things where it's like he knows stuff about it, like maybe he's he's got like the like man, but it's like it's kind of cool. It's like a reference to Shakespeare, like that one time that Othello did that one thing, and he like that time that like Hamlet like murked that dude, and I'm just
he a secret theater nerd, Chad?
Oh my gosh, he's Zac Efron. He's Zac Efron.
As soon as I said theater nerd Chad, I was like, oh god, it's High School Musical. Yes!
I love it. And then she's like so musicals are dumb, but then she's like slow and quiet crying to Phantom of the Opera the first time she sees it. He's like, yeah, no, you gotta see this one. It's kind of messed up. He like tries to kidnap her to an underground lake, and his face is real messed up. But he's good at music, and she likes that about him. And but then there's this other guy who's like really good to her, so she chooses him, and then the other guy just disappears, and she's just like, and this is a musical? Why are they singing? It's the reverse of most of my relationships prior to my husband.
I can't breathe. This is so good.
This is the story. This is the story instead. And meanwhile, they like accidentally discover a crime that happened.
Yeah.
It's like, my dad works in investments, but like, I don't know, like, what kind?
Okay, story-wise though, hear me out. What if Vivian finds out like the truth about Zac Efron's dad, right?
Felix.
I'm just gonna keep naming him that, but like
Zach. His name's Zach now.
His name
Zach
has to be
was
Zach.
just a C.
You're right. So
Zach.
she learns like the actual truth about Zach's dad and like what he does for a living, right? Mm-hmm. But this is after she's already gotten close with Zach, and so she's like, I can't send this guy to jail, it's gonna like ruin Zach's life. Basically, it's gonna ruin like the family's
Oh,
reputation, and he is so close to like getting into college that like I can't ruin his
it's like
chance for that by.
yeah, once he gets to
Ugh.
another, like once he gets out of state to the college, or like he goes and
Yeah.
joins the Olympic team, she's like just trying to, after they find out, or after like Viv and Helen start discovering this sort of
Yeah.
thing, um well, I think even like if this were not even a game, like, forget the stats, that's kind of the relationship. Like, it's summer and
Mm.
Viv is the nanny. Like, she's like
Yeah.
watching the kids during the day so that Helen can continue working because they work from home, but like both of them are
Yeah.
just like, what do you invest in, like what kind of
Yeah.
investing
Yeah.
things exist?
Mm.
And she's
Mhm.
like tapping away at her phone, like at the island, like the twins are in their high chairs or something, like throwing stuff at her. It's like, I
I
took a picture of this and I don't know what this logo is on the back of Zach's dad's car. Do you know what this is?
Yes, and it become
And then
I
I could,
think like what's okay, so if we're so let's take it out of a game and put it into like a Desperate Housewife. Let's put it into a show now,
yeah,
right? If this was a
yeah,
TV show, Zach's dad, I think what he does is think like um Jason Bateman's character in Ozark, where I think he's a money launderer. And I think he's like
yeah, yeah,
crazy smart but he launders money for like cartels and for like the mob.
yeah. He's investing in
Mm,
private firms that have in a variety
yes.
of interests, and really he's just like funding equipment for criminal organizations to do their thing.
Yeah. Like he literally like works on like investing like illegal weapons trading and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
And
so
like, and yeah.
but because like Viv and Helen kind of become like they're like have this like unlikely friendship. It used to be a very like just neighborly like you
Mhm.
babysit my kids while I work. Every now and again I'm like, why don't you take the twins out to the park or something? And it's you can tell like,
Mhm.
oh, the pool boy is outside. I see. All right, kids, let's
Yeah.
go and
Or it's
hang
like,
out at.
that's what it is. It's like it's house cleaning day, and you happen to
Mhm.
have a male housekeeper
Yes.
for
Yes.
reasons.
Oh my god. And so every time like Viv sees like the housekeeper's like car outside is like already knows that there's going to be like cash on the counter so that she can take the kids out for ice cream and then go to the park and like spend the day out of the house kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it's this kind of like unspoken understanding between them. But then this
And
like
she's like,
this
yeah,
new
whatever.
yeah, but then this like yeah, it's like very much just like not my circus, not my monkeys. You always pay like more than what the ice cream costs and you let me keep the change on top
Oh
of what
yeah.
you already pay me kind of thing. Like it's an unspoken understanding and also like Viv doesn't care and is like the problems of grown-ups are not my fucking business.
Right,
Um
yeah. I really don't want to know because that's like
yeah.
not on her radar. I think she
Yeah.
could, like, honestly, like this could have been one of those things, just she probably like thought, like, she's come out of like ew
Yeah.
boys territory, and then like has probably had girlfriends and stuff in the past because
Yeah.
girls like contact sports life, and that's been her
Oh
deal.
yeah.
And then she's like, Zach's like fine.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy, I
So
love
like
this.
she's
Okay.
been like, I'm definitely not interested in any of that you're
Yeah.
up to. That's very much you. But
I was gonna
who knows
say,
with
like,
Zach,
listen,
maybe.
because I've said this before, everything is better when it's gayer. What if it's like, usually what she sees is like, what Vivian sees for Helen is like, oh, there's a pool boy, there's a, sometimes it's a
It's
plumber,
the
sometimes it's a, and then a housekeeper
housekeeper.
comes through and she's the one who is there.
So
And so it's an
she's been
actually a,
secret lesbians.
we love
Yeah.
secret lesbians.
Secret lesbians.
But it's like it becomes first obviously it's like just sex to like cope with the fact that my husband left me, and then it becomes like
Oh
I
my
actually have real
gosh.
feelings for my housekeeper and she like we're in love now and it becomes a whole thing. But I
Well,
think
that would be like for me, like that's like an NPC that if another person wanted to play the game, now they're playing the game too. Like
yes,
it's
yeah,
another pull-in or like kind of like an asset that you would have. Because again, my brain is always thinking TTRPGs, so
yeah, yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
different asset that you could have.
And that would be like, for my mind, very like show oriented. That would be like a season finale. Viv finds out that it's actually Helen is sleeping with her maid, who's like, and she's a secret lesbian.
Secret
Yes,
lesbians.
we love secret lesbians. Okay, so you know what? We are actually we're about at the 2 hour mark, and I feel like we've created like a
Perfect.
lot of really cool shit here.
I'm happy with
Um,
this.
so I'm gonna go ahead and give our little recap of the place and setting and story that we've built here.
I love it.
Welcome to Gated, a an early 2000s soap opera that we're going to turn into its own TTRPG. It is
Yep.
Desperate Housewives the game. Is what we're creating here.
Pretty much.
Welcome to Foxglove Estates, where everyone lives these picture perfect, Instagrammable, beautiful, aesthetic lives, right? However, when a new neighbor, a new family moves into town, the local neighborhood babysitter and neighborhood fantasy author housewife, whose husband is still totally around, she promises.
Yep. Totally believe it.
Totally believe it.
Seems legit to me.
Start to notice a lot of odd things about the husband or the patriarch of this new family, these new neighbors that walked in. Namely that he works in investments, but what exactly does that mean? And what we've created in this
snooping.
Yes, and what we've created in this absolute chaos is either we would watch this TV show style, which through the characters forming this unlikely friendship, through all of their sleuthing and sneaking, they start to discover the dark history of Mr. We didn't come up with their last name, but that's fine. We'll say Mr. Smith. Sure.
Mr. Smith, Zach Smith
Mr.
is
Smith.
the son, and yeah.
And whose son is Zach, the secret musical theater geek, who is an all-star lacrosse player with a big crush on the town babysitter, Vivian, who is the secret emo girl.
Yes.
Who babysits for Helen, the incredibly messy housewife, with the estranged husband that she is in denial about, and is secretly sleeping with the maid. So much.
I love it.
It's so messy. It's so soap opera. It is exactly what we wanted. We have the criminals, and we have an actual very cool setting premise for like if these sleuthing and stealthing things could be turned into game mechanics if we wanted to make this an actual game as well.
I think it could be. I think you could reskin Brindlewood Bay, because then if you reskinned Brindlewood Bay to be Desperate Housewives vibes, then you could still use the clue mechanic. You could use the dark conspiracy or the void clues in case the dad's stuff is culty, or the mom or someone in the household is up to some culty stuff.
The mom is in a cult, and
the little sister is getting into some witchy boo-boo stuff.
The little sister is like casting spells and pretending she's a witch, but she's like actually a witch, and so that adds like an element of like fantasy to it that's really cool. So
so like that way, like she's been like getting like my little sister just says weird stuff, and she's doing like some like prophetic, like speaking in tongues. Not
to add more headcanons for your character, but like I feel like Vivian would eat that shit up. Vivian would see that and be like, this is my favorite character. This is my favorite child to babysit in this entire neighborhood. Your twins are cool, but nah, it's this weird kid. Like, it's this bitch.
And she never gets to, like, do it. And then the kid doesn't do any weird stuff when she's watching, but then everything that Zach keeps saying. So Zach ends up being the clue mechanic for like mom keeps going to the spa every week and like can't go out in the sun for a few days after. That could be like a clue. But then like my sister like, you know, brought home this thing and like, you know, like kind of getting into
that almost brings in like flavors of like Sabrina, the new Sabrina show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like the mom is very casual, like oh, Satan willing instead of God willing, you know, things like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
very, very into that. And like if we're gonna bring in those kind of flavors, it's like imagine one game where it's like, oh, the husband is actually totally innocent and does nothing, but like the mom has like cast spells to bless her husband's career, so he keeps getting like promoted and stuff like that, and they think it's him.
And that's also cool because then the dad could still be under suspicion because through some of his investments, maybe he's bringing back like odd materials like from out of the country, like artifacts and like weird stuff that's there. And so that way it's adding the like, which one is it? You know, because then I'm sitting there like, how can we get Zach involved? Like, how can we make Zach suspicious in it? Or maybe Zach isn't. Maybe Zach is like a player in it too. Like I'm thinking like as a game mechanic, right?
Zach becoming like a PC would be really cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like that, you as like the DM, like you get to slide little bits of paper like, oh, that's weird.
I love it. Okay.
My sister just said this.
So we're gonna go ahead and end this stream and then go and spend another 3 hours talking about how to turn this into a TTRPG.
Pretty much. I'm gonna send you the Les Mis fan fiction, and then we will continue on with our lives.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you, Mare. I'm going to try and find somebody to raid. While I do that, tell the people who you are, why you're here. Tell everybody what is going on. Where else can people find you on this World Wide Web?
Hello there. My name is Mare. You can find me all over the internet at Oh Hello Mare. I am, I guess, a game designer in process.
Now,
but I do a lot with TTRPGs. In the meat space and the real space out here, I am an educator at a school, and I also run a D&D club for the school. I also teach femmes femmes over the age of 30 how to get into the hobby for the first time. So I love running like beginning games for folks who want to test out any kind of TTRPGs. Been a lot of D&D, but I think I can get them in with something like this. Would be so fun to run over like a wine night with my friends now. So, but yeah, so I'm irregular on my social medias. I usually just repost when I'm somewhere else, which is what usually happens. I'm usually on other people's channels. I don't stream on my own channel as often as I should, but when I do, it's because I'm playing with other people, or right now I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption because I'm in my horse girl era again.
Or as we have now named it from the last time you were streaming when I popped in, which was Wild West Barbie Horse Adventure.
Yes, Wild West Barbie Horse Adventure. I'm doing my best while playing that to not commit like big crimes. I'm trying to stay like good in it. I'm doing a lot of hunting, and I might be doing moonshine because it's not illegal yet.
I love it. Very cool.
Yeah, and I'm defending ranches from invaders. That's my life.
Now, okay, I'm trying to find someone. Who do you think? Do you want to help me find someone to raid? Who's live right now?
Let me see. Let me look. There aren't a ton of folks live right now. I mean, Rin is live. Blizz is live. And Blizz just got engaged.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm following Blizz.
I love Blizz. I'm just looking at like folks we know. Robear's Tyranny of Dragons, but he's not like live. It's not a live showing of it. It's his rerun.
You know what? Let's go raid into Rin. Why not?
Yay!
Let's go say hi to Rin.
Sounds good.
What are we gonna go yell in chat? Let's just say welcome to Foxglove Estates. Let's just jump into chat and say welcome to Foxglove Estates.
Or just like raid, novelist raid, or like writer raid.
Writer rate is cool. I always try and like think of like something in the like no context,
Oh,
just something that
in
we've
the thing.
created.
Oh.
Just because I'm like, what can we do that's just ridiculous? Because I mean, in the stream with Diana, when we raided, we just started screaming "Too big tops ass to ass." Like that was the whole thing. Because it's really funny and there's no context and people hear it and just go, "Okay, what?"
Yeah.
That happened.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Oh, that's cute. I like.
Or hi neighbor. Oh, we could just say hi neighbor.
Hi neighbor. Yeah. No. Okay. We're doing hi neighbor. Everybody.
Hi neighbor.
I'm gonna go ahead and start that raid. Mare, thank you so freaking much for being on my show today. This was an absolute blast.
This was fun.
This was so much fun.
We found rails eventually.
We found rails eventually. As for me, you guys can find me. Make sure to tune back in next Sunday, where I'm going to have Promethean on my show, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be so nice. Pro is the one who got me my first hype train, and I cried. It was great. So that was it's gonna be so fun to have him on my show. So come back next Sunday, same time. It's gonna be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I haven't done it in the past 2 weeks, but I try on Tuesdays to also stream a little crafting. So hopefully, if I have the time and the spoons, I will do some little sculpting, crafting stream this Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it. All right, I love you guys. Let's go say hi neighbor to Rin.
Hi, neighbor. Bye.